I'm going to build a bike carrier for my truck, for my pickup truck. Originally, I only wanted it to be a bike rack or bike carrier, but I think I can do much more. My idea is to use the commercial eTrack system, these eTrack rails, and basically fix them on my truck bed, basically where the front loops and rear loops are in the truck bed. I don't want to put any holes in my truck, so I will not alter anything. I will use the existing hardware basically, and it has to be removable, fast removable, quickly removable. I already built one. I will show you, and I will lead you. The second one, I'll lead you through the building process. I have like 4 feet of eTracks. I used to use these clamps. I don't know if you guys ever seen them, but you always have to remove the wheel of your bike, and I got sick of it doing that always. So I think that will be a big improvement, that I can leave the wheels in. I can get strapped down 2 bikes, and it's very secure. It's very firm. So let me show you how my eTrack system idea works. Okay, that's the front eTrack system. As you can see, I have a 4 feet eTrack system, like a 2x8 wooden plank, which I cut basically, and then I have these turn shackles to basically tie it down, and then some strengthening angles just to make sure there's enough strength, and basically there's enough resistance against the torque which these shackles in the end will exercise. So taking the measurements for the rear eTrack system, to get the dimensions for the length of the board. I have a 1500 Chevy truck. I go from this side here to there. That will be my width of my baseboard, and then I will cut these vertical boards same length like in the front, and I already know that's the eTrack system, the board, and then the angle, so I will have enough space to tie that up. I can even go out a little bit with this one here, so we will see how that looks like in the end, but that's what I'm going to do. So next step will be drilling the pocket holes, and I already mark the board. I make it off center because here is where my angle, my aluminum angle sits, so I don't want to have the screws interfering each other, because the pocket holes basically they go from here down. So I did it a little bit off center because, as said, like my angle will sit in the middle. That are the verticals. They're about 11 inch. Basically, it doesn't have to be really exact. So, guys, that's my pocket hole check. So again, you don't need to do pocket holes. It's just easier if you assemble it, but you don't really need it. You can also screw it from the bottom through, but it's just a little bit I think more cumbersome to get right center of the vertical board. So I like pocket holes, that's why I use them. So next one. see the pocket holes here. Then you can just basically screw in here, or screw through, and can go directly into the horizontal board. It's very easy, very cool system. Okay, so that's the hardware I use, turn shackles. As you can see, they're closed here and open here because I will in the end put the bolt through here basically, so this one never falls out. That's why I had a closed one, but you can also use open ones depending on how you want to do it. So now next step is basically drilling the holes. It's two bolts what I need, 2 holes. I will pre-drill with a smaller diameter, otherwise your bit always runs away. So in order to be centered, I think it makes a big difference if you go with a smaller drill first. So next step is basically for me routing the edges, and then I sand it. If you want to save time, don't want to route the edges. If you don't want to paint it, you don't want to sand it, you don't have to. I just like to paint it black like the other one. Okay, so I pre-mounted everything, as you can see. Basically I measured it, it's centered everything. So now I'm going to fasten these verticals, and then I'm going to paint it. As said, painting is not necessarily required, but I do it just to make it last longer. Step is the sanding. As I said, not necessary. I do it. Just gives it a nicer, better finish, and it makes it easier to paint. So let me switch the. Next step today, I'm going to install the hardware for my eTrack system for the truck. So that's basically the second one, the rear one. So first step is to measure and make sure it's nicely centered. Let's do that real quick. Hold it down. Just want to make sure it doesn't change anymore. And then so now I just hold it down all the way. The next step are my reinforcement angles. I got them from eBay. I got them really cheap. Okay, so as you guys can see, the bigger reinforcements have been installed on here, the outside. They will basically counter resist the turnbuckles, pushing that board out, or pushing these boards out and down. And then I have like smaller angles here. going to install them like that. And they're just reinforcements to the number 8 by 1.5. They're like smaller bolts. Install one. Come on, really. Magnetic. Okay, so as you guys can see, all the eTrack hardware and reinforcement hardware is installed. Now I have these turnbuckles. As you can see, they're like open, like a hook on one side and looped, and closed like an eye on the other side. So what I will do with the closed side, I will install them. Okay, so I opened up one of these hardware, these tie downs, you can see. Now I'm just putting one of these things in here, right? Like I said, the closed loop, the hook is then to install it in the truck. Let me show you how that looks like. Put that in. I shouldn't pull it out all the way. There's like rubber washers in there. I just want to make sure I keep them. And the screw, I will later on Loctite that down with red Loctite. You don't have to do that, because red Loctite you can only open again if you heat it up to 500 degrees. I want to do it just to make sure that nobody can remove this hardware. So it doesn't have to be, you don't have to use like red Loctite at all, because these are self-securing nuts what I have here. But I just want to make sure that nobody, once it is installed, I put a lot of time in that thing that nobody can really take it out. So next step, I attach these, as you can see. So now next step is to attach the tie downs here basically to the side of my eTrack, and for that I have like M8 by 125 50 millimeter length. They kind of had the best diameter, and I like the metrical. They have a good they have usually a good strength, these bolts, and high qualities. I need 2 for each side. Then I also have corresponding washers with that. So hope you guys can see that. And now I will put these tie downs here such a way. I put these bolts in. I put these tie downs in. 2 more washers. So let's secure these things here. 2. Once that sets, you will not be able to remove these screws anymore, or these bolts. So I will repeat that on the other side, and then we can basically already put it in the truck. Okay, so as you guys can see, they're installed. I put some black tape around it just to, I don't like to kind of mar my paint and the truck, so I just put that down. You know, I don't like rust. I hate that. So, but as you can see, they're installed now, the turnbuckles on both sides, reinforcements. Okay, so now you guys can see it installed, how it sits there with the turnbuckles, and you can see it's pretty sturdy. I got one on the back, then one in the front here, and I can basically tie down stuff that it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so here you can see the eTrack system assembled, the front and the rear eTrack. I will also put a bike on just to show you guys how it's going to look. Okay, now here it's with a bike strapped down, so the tire has to touch the front of the bed, and then you just strap it down with like these hooks, and it's like I say bomb proof almost. It's insane, very versatile. Yeah, again a close up for you guys just to be able to see it. Now a little, yeah, you guys see that? It's very sturdy. It's not going to get lost, for sure not. Okay, that's my eTrack system. Hope you enjoyed the video.